Hi everybody, it's Miss Sandy and it's time for another story time at home. Today, instead of reading a story though, we are going to talk about a sensory play activity using rice that I found in a book called Sensory Play for Toddlers and Preschoolers. It's a great book. It's going to be in our collection. You should look for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some just plain long grain rice and we're going to dye it. I found out in this book that if you add a tablespoon of vinegar, it helps distribute the dye more evenly, and your colors will end up brighter and they'll last longer. So I'm just going to add that tablespoon and a few drops of food coloring. I thought we'd go green since it's spring, and it is almost St. Patrick's Day, so there you go. I'm going to seal that up really carefully because I don't want rice everywhere, right? This is a fun part of the activity that the kiddos can help with, and we're going to mix it all up. After you distribute that dye, it only takes a couple minutes to mix it up real good. You want to make sure you squish it around real good. After you do that, you're going to pour it out on a baking sheet and let it dry for a little bit. So, let's see, we're gonna mix that up real good. Like I said, it only takes a minute or two, and then we'll pour it out onto our baking sheet and let it dry. Look at that. You can use a spoon or something to mix it around a little bit more. There you go. And then, just like on the baking shows, right? We're gonna put this one over here and voila, look, we have one that's all done. You can see I used a lot of dye in this one. I love that color of green. Isn't that beautiful? You could like stop right here and you could actually cook that rice and end up with bright green rice. How fun would that be? But today what we're actually talking about is sensory play. So children really develop fine motor skills by using those pincher grasps and playing and things like this is a great way to help them do that. So how would you do that? Well, you can take your green rice. You'll see I actually mixed it in with some white and just kind of to make my colored rice spread out a little bit further. I found, by the way, 4-pound bags of rice at Adam's for $4. And that's good. The reason that I did that is so that we can make these kits as part of our Story Time to Go project. So they are available curbside pickup at the library. Each kit has a bag that looks just like this, and in that bag is your rice mixture. And can you see what's in there? A bunch of letters. That's right. Each one has like 10 letters. And this is great because not only can you play in it, but you can also use it to talk about letter recognition. And if your child's a little bit older, you can start building some sight words. Let's see what we have here. Oh, I have a T and an M and let's see, an A. So I can make a mat. Ooh, you could talk about your word families because I also have an R, so I can make rat. So again, there are all kinds of fun ways you can do that. You can just pick them all out, have your child find them, and you can count them. And you can also just let them play however it makes them happy, because the imagination that comes out when you're just playing with stuff like this, that's imaginative play is one of the best things about playing with preschoolers, I think. So the letter idea is there, but you can use that same rice over and over. If you just put it in an airtight container in a Tupperware, or even put it back in the bag and make sure it's sealed up tight, you literally can use the same rice for years. So other play ideas, scoops and funnels are super fun for play with things like rice. Obviously cups are super great. I'm a huge fan of the whisk. We've had Eggy at our house for a very long time. I love Eggy. So any of those kind of fun things are a great way to extend that sensory play. Included in the Story Time to Go kit is the recipe that we just did. It's pretty simple. And I also include a recipe for this one. Also, again, from that sensory playbook. Check this out. Rainbow spaghetti. How cool is that, right? Is that beautiful? Again, Generic spaghetti from Job Lot, 69 cents, and some food coloring. You prepare your spaghetti just like you usually would, and you add food coloring to the water while it's boiling. The more you add, the brighter your colors end up. I love the blue. I thought of all kinds of fun things to do with this. If my kiddo was little and not a teenager looking at me right now like, that's crazy. You could like get a bunch of little plastic aquatic animals and fishies and have them play and pretend it's the ocean. Or if you have an aquarium and had aquarium figurines, you could put them in there. You could take a bunch of blue things that you find from around the house and talk about the color blue and hide them in there. When your spaghetti gets a little sticky, as it might do, you can just rinse it and continue to play in it. I was going to say that the color doesn't come off, but eventually it kind of does a little bit, but not too bad. And it didn't stain my pot at all when I made the spaghetti. Or you can also just make crazy blue or green or red spaghetti and surprise your kiddo for a snack. So I love the idea of rainbow spaghetti, and I hope that it's a fun idea and gives you some fun ideas of things to do with your kiddo as well. And speaking of ideas for things to do, I know that at this time, kids have been on their computers so much. I'm talking about the older kids now, and you may be running out of ideas. So I just wanted to remind you that we have a lot of books of ideas of things to do with your kids that don't involve a screen. This is one of my favorites, 150 plus screen-free activities for kids of all ages. There is everything in here from ideas about doing things with colored salt. There are activities inside and outside, and just really great hands-on baked cotton balls. What? Never done that before. So, fun ideas, things to do when you're just like, it's another rainy day and what am I gonna do? Or it's another sunny day and we have to be someplace 4 hours from now and I have this time in between. Just a thought. For your bigger kids, Stitch Camp. This is such a cool book for kids who are getting into maybe crochet or knitting, or they just are like crafty. There are some really cool projects in here, tons of ideas of projects to make. Highly recommend for kiddos, elementary and tweens, just really neat and great step-by-step instructions, really well laid out. So that's a fun one. If your kiddo is more into sciencey things and experiments, I love the Smithsonian Maker Lab series, and they have, since it's spring, thought I would highlight their outdoor activity project. Everything from creating enormous bubbles to how to make your own compass, like really great sciencey experiments. Highly recommend this one. Again, really good step-by-step instructions and explanation of the science behind the project for your inquisitive youngster. And I'd also like to share, I actually had a request recently for a kiddo who was really getting into woodworking. I think he just got into Pathfinder's Voc program and was looking for some good wood shop type books, and I found this and I love it. This is a great building starter book for kiddos who are just getting into making things. And I think that learning those hands-on skills is just invaluable. And this is something fun that you can do together. I love this book. It goes through, again, very simple instructions. It explains what materials you need. It has a great glossary explaining different terms. Excellent book for kids who are just getting started and for kids who have some skills but are looking for some projects to try. So again, hands-on activities, all kinds of great things, of course, available at your Munson Free Library. So don't forget to stop by, pick up your Storytime to Go project, and go ahead and schedule yourself to come on into the library. We're open for browsing on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and you have probably heard that beginning the week of March 22nd, the library will be open, so you can come on in whenever you like and actually browse and take a look around. We can't wait to see you. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope to see you soon.